Melania Trump has lived much of her public life under intense scrutiny, with controversies surrounding her immigration history, political views, fashion choices, speeches, and personal associations. One of the latest controversies emerged in 2026 following the release of documents connected to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Melania publicly rejected suggestions that she had a close relationship with Epstein. She acknowledged that she and Donald Trump had encountered him in New York and Palm Beach social circles during the late 1990s and early 2000s, but characterized a 2002 email involving Ghislaine Maxwell as casual correspondence. She also called for public hearings for survivors of Epstein's trafficking network. In 2024, Melania attracted attention after excerpts from her memoir, Melania, revealed her support for abortion rights. She described abortion as a woman's fundamental right to make decisions about her own body and embraced the phrase, "my body, my choice." Her position appeared to conflict with the views of many conservative Republicans and contrasted with Donald Trump's political record on abortion. Her most famous fashion controversy came in June 2018, during a visit to a Texas facility housing migrant children separated from their parents. She wore a Zara jacket bearing the words, "I really don't care, do you?" Critics interpreted the message as insensitive toward the children. Melania later said the message was aimed at people and media criticizing her, not the children. In 2016, her speech at the Republican National Convention became another major controversy after observers discovered passages closely resembling Michelle Obama's 2008 convention speech. A member of Trump's campaign staff accepted responsibility, saying phrases Melania admired had mistakenly been incorporated into the speech. Her immigration history has also faced scrutiny. Melania's use of an EB-1 visa during her modeling career prompted questions about whether she met the requirements for the category reserved for people with extraordinary ability. Questions were also raised about whether she had modeled in the United States before obtaining proper work authorization. Melania has maintained that she followed immigration laws. Her relatively limited public schedule has also generated criticism. During Donald Trump's political career, she has often maintained a more private lifestyle than previous first ladies, spending considerable time away from public events. Supporters have described this as her personal preference, while critics have viewed it as unusual for a first lady. Born Melania Knavs on April 26, 1970, in Novo Mesto, Slovenia, Melania grew up in Sevnica, then part of communist Yugoslavia. Her father, Viktor Knavs, worked as a traveling car salesman and chauffeur before managing car dealerships associated with a state-owned vehicle manufacturer. Her mother, Amalia Knavs, worked as a pattern maker at a children's clothing factory. Melania grew up alongside her older sister, Inez Knavs, and also has an older half-brother, Denis Sijelnak. Her childhood exposed her to both commerce and fashion. Her father's business career introduced her to the world of sales, while her mother's work in clothing helped cultivate her interest in design. Melania reportedly began modeling locally as a child. At 16, she was discovered by Slovenian fashion photographer Stane Jerko, beginning a professional journey that eventually took her outside the country. At 15, she had moved to Ljubljana to attend the Secondary School for Design and Photography. After high school, she enrolled at the University of Ljubljana to study architecture and design. However, she left after about a year to pursue modeling opportunities in Europe. Her career took her to Milan and Paris, where she worked with modeling agencies and built an international portfolio. In 1996, she moved to New York after being introduced to the city's fashion industry by modeling scout Paolan Zampoli. She worked professionally under the name Melania Knaus and appeared in advertising campaigns and publications including Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Ocean Drive, and the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Melania eventually expanded beyond modeling. In 2010, she launched Melania Timepieces and Fashion Jewelry, a collection of watches and jewelry sold through QVC. She also developed a proposed caviar-based skincare line called Melania Marks Skincare, although the project became entangled in legal and business disputes and did not launch as originally intended. She later established Muse Films, a production company focused on digital media and documentary projects. Her commercial activities eventually expanded into licensing, media, and digital ventures. Her personal life changed significantly after she met Donald Trump. The pair met in September 1998 at a Fashion Week party at the Kit Kat Club in New York. The event was hosted by Paolo Zampoli, who knew both of them. Trump, who was separated from his second wife, Marla Maples, reportedly asked Melania for her telephone number. She declined to give him hers, but took his business number and later contacted him. They dated on and off for several years and briefly separated around 2000. They eventually reconciled, and Trump proposed in April 2004 at the Costume Institute Gala in New York. On January 22, 2005, Melania and Donald Trump married at the Episcopal Church of Bethesda by the Sea in Palm Beach, Florida. Their reception was held at Mar-a-Lago and attracted numerous prominent guests, including Bill and Hillary Clinton. Their son, Barron Trump, was born on March 20, 2006. Through her marriage to Donald, Melania also became stepmother to his 4 older children, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, and Tiffany Trump. Melania entered the political spotlight when Donald Trump launched his presidential campaign in 2015. After his victory in the 2016 election, she became the first naturalized U.S. citizen to serve as First Lady and the second foreign-born woman to hold the position. As First Lady from 2017 to 2021, she maintained a relatively private public profile. Her signature initiative was Be Best, which promoted children's well-being, online safety, awareness of cyberbullying, and opioid abuse. She was also involved in philanthropic work and held associations with organizations including the American Red Cross, the Boys Club of New York, and the American Heart Association. She was named a Red Cross Goodwill Ambassador in 2005 and received the Police Athletic League's Woman of the Year honor in 2006. After Donald Trump left office in January 2021, Melania largely withdrew from public life. Her political role returned when Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election and began a second term in January 2025. During her second tenure as First Lady, she continued focusing on children's welfare. She launched Fostering the Future, an initiative supporting young people in foster care, and became the first First Lady to preside over a United Nations Security Council meeting. She also supported restoration and preservation projects involving the White House. In 2025, she received the Patriot of the Year award at the Fox Nation Patriot Awards for her involvement in national initiatives, foster youth advocacy, and community engagement. Melania has also accumulated substantial personal wealth through her career. Estimates vary considerably, with some placing her net worth between $50 million and $70 million, while more conservative estimates value her personal holdings at around $20 million. Her wealth is separate from Donald Trump's business empire. Her income has come from modeling, business ventures, licensing agreements, media projects, and book-related earnings. Her memoir, Melania, became a bestseller and reached the top of the New York Times hardcover nonfiction list. She also owns property independently. In January 2016, she purchased a roughly 1,052 square foot, one-bedroom apartment in Trump Tower, Manhattan, for approximately $1.49 million. Through her marriage, she has also lived at or had access to some of the Trump family's most prominent properties, including Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Trump Tower in New York, Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, and the Seven Springs Estate in Bedford, New York. From a small industrial town in Slovenia, Melania Trump built an international modeling career, moved to America, became an entrepreneur, married a billionaire businessman, and entered the highest levels of American politics. Her journey has been accompanied by extraordinary privilege, but also relentless controversy. Her immigration history, political views, fashion choices, business ventures, and private lifestyle have repeatedly made headlines. Yet, perhaps the defining feature of Melania Trump's public life is her determination to remain private. While she became one of the world's most recognizable women, she has consistently kept much of her personal life away from the public. Today, her story remains that of a Slovenian-born model who transformed herself into an American citizen, businesswoman, mother, and two-time First Lady of the United States.